Hi, welcome to Joy with Plants. My name is Millie. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I am so excited to share with you my pantry staples that I use to create just a variety of different meals. And it is super easy, super inexpensive. And I think that this would help you a lot as you develop your grocery list, as you develop your own way of kind of organizing your pantry and stocking up your pantry. I hope that you find it useful. The reason that I think it is so important to have staple items on hand and stocked up in your pantry is because it makes cooking just so much easier. Then you don't really have to think hard about what you're going to be making for lunch or for your dinner. Like, it's there, it's ready. It takes a couple of minutes to cook up and you're done. My first pantry staple is rice, whether that be white rice or brown rice. I personally prefer having white rice. I prefer that so much better. Very rarely do I have brown rice, and it's still good, and I love it. We have it with almost everything. The reason that I think it is so important to have white rice, and why I would say it's a staple numero uno, is because you can pair it with almost anything. It is just super easy to build a plate for you, or even for your kids if you have kids, to just have rice as your starch and then add some veggies and add some beans. Rice is also just so easy because you're able to cook it up in your Instant Pot, in your rice cooker, and it takes almost no effort. With white rice, it is also super easy to just go ahead and mix up the flavor in your rice. You can add some tomato sauce to your rice to make it more of like a Mexican inspired dish, or you can just do white rice and add some cilantro and some lime, or even just regular plain white rice and add some soy sauce. It is super easy to just change up the way that you use white rice, and it is super filling. Another thing that could be used instead of rice would be quinoa. I like quinoa with like a chickpea salad, or in a salad, but I don't have that often. But if you prefer quinoa over rice, then that's totally up to you. It's your preference. My second staple item is beans or legumes. I have beans every single day. Now you could either use dry beans like I have right behind me, and I have red lentils. So you can use those. You can cook them for yourself in the Instant Pot, or in your slow cooker or on the stovetop. Or you can use canned beans, which are just, equally as healthy for you. Sure, the canned ones have a little bit more sodium because they have salt, but you could always get the no salt added. And if they have salt, then you can just go ahead and just rinse them before you add them to your recipe, and they're good to go. I find that adding, for example, black beans are perfect for burrito bowls. Also, pinto beans, those are perfect if you're gonna blend them up into like a refried bean kind of texture. And one of my favorite ones to make a soup out of is Peruvian beans. They're like a mixture between like a white bean, but then also like a pinto bean. And those are just so soft, so creamy, and they're just perfect for a soup. You add some cilantro, you add some onion, and it's perfect. As with chickpeas, you're able to use them in so many different ways. You can make a chickpea salad, or even with chickpeas, you can go ahead and even make a hummus out of it. So with lentils are perfect because you're able to include lentils, for example, with like your pasta sauce. If you want to make a type of pasta sauce for either your pasta or for just to top on top of your vegetables, then you can go ahead and just, boil up some lentils, add in your tomato sauce, add in your spices, and there you go. Like that's perfect. You have your protein from the lentils, you're having your tomatoes and all your veggies inside your pasta. My third staple is having potatoes. I love having potatoes. I prefer the gold and the regular orange sweet potato. I have tried other ones, but I just prefer the orange ones. And my favorite way to have those is as fries. If you have been struggling with wanting chips or wanting, that salty kind of food, then I have found that substituting them with air fried, gold chopped potatoes with some seasonings, it is just the perfect replacement. It leaves you full, it leaves you satisfied. And because it's made of the exact same thing, which is potatoes, then it just makes it so much easier to kind of go towards that. And then you begin to crave that. And it's slowly like the chip won't satisfy as much as your air fried potatoes would. Another thing that I find very helpful to have in your pantry, or more so in your freezer, would be having frozen fruit or frozen vegetables. Frozen fruit, because they are just so quick and easy to put in a blender, make some ice cream, or make a smoothie, which my husband used to ask for all the time. Then they're just there, they're accessible, they're easy. Put a little bit of almond milk in that, and you can make yourself a smoothie or an ice cream, so it's just perfect. As for frozen vegetables, one of my favorite things to do, I'm not a huge fan, I've said this before, of like frozen vegetables. I just think it tastes a little kind of, I don't know, like too soft for my liking. But some of the ones that I do like is having frozen peas, because I can add that to my fried rice, and having edamame. I have found that that is just such a delicious snack. A family friend gave me a recipe of how to make them, kind of like an Asian zing kind of flavor, and it is so delicious. So having those helped me to kind of get over the craving of hot Cheetos, which used to be one of my favorite things in the world. But now I could just have that if I'm craving something more spicy. So I love that. Maybe you can go ahead and find the vegetables that work for you when it comes to whether it be cooking or your favorite things to snack on. I've heard that people love snacking on like frozen cherries or frozen fruit like mango. Having frozen fruit is also just very easy, very convenient. If you need something quick, then that's what you could use. A big staple is having canned items available, whether that be beans, like I mentioned before, or whether that be like canned tomatoes, corn, peas, mixed vegetables, even potatoes that are already in a can. That just makes life so much easier, because just super easy options, because then you wouldn't have to chop up an entire tomato, but you could just use already cut tomatoes and put that can in the soup. Or you can go ahead and add your, of course, canned beans. You can add your tomato sauce instead of having to blend up your own tomato sauce. It just makes it so much easier and convenient. The last staple item for me, and I would say probably one of the most important ones, is your spices. Being stocked up on spices that you genuinely like, that you really love, that will make your food so much more flavorful. I do not want you to be eating boring and bland food. That is just not cool, not fun. I mean, even before I was, living this plant-based life, I was not eating bland food. I was adding seasonings to my food to make it taste good so that I could eat it. And so it's the same exact thing. So adding some seasonings even to your beans, of course, for your oatmeal, for example, adding cinnamon to that. Like, we just want our food to be tasty and be delicious, and seasonings help so much with that, because then that allows you to not have to put all that much salt. My personal favorite spices are garlic powder, onion powder, pepper, and I love paprika for my potatoes, for my air fried potatoes. I think those are perfect, but I do use a variety of them, and I have a lot that I love to try just new spices to different things to give it more flavor, make things different, changing it up. So along with spices, I will go ahead and include sauces and even salsas along with this. For example, when I have my burrito bowls, those are like the things I have most often. I have a burrito bowl maybe 4 times, 5 times out of the week, and it doesn't get boring. I always add salsa to that. So that's included in there. That adds the flavor, that's what makes me crave it, because I crave that taste that I love so much. Adding flavor to your food is just super important because it makes you love your food. You're not supposed to be just having your bowl of food and then looking at it and not wanting to eat it. But having your food and being excited for it is a part of just enjoying the food that you have, and it allows to make this lifestyle sustainable. So having these 6 staples that I mentioned are just gonna make your life so much easier and convenient. You're gonna be able to make meals out of these 6 things that I mentioned. And I'm going to go ahead and give you some examples of that. As I mentioned, my burrito bowls. I love burrito bowls. And with these, for example, you're going to be able to use the first thing I mentioned, which is rice. You can use brown or white rice, whichever you prefer. You can go ahead and add your beans, so you can choose any type of beans that you want. I prefer black beans with these. And then you can go ahead and add, let's see, you can go ahead and add, from the frozen section, you can go ahead and steam up some of your broccoli or some cauliflower. And there you go, that's your veggies, your side of veggies for that. And then from the canned section, you can go ahead and put in some like canned corn on your burrito bowl, and some spices if you want. You can go ahead and add cumin or garlic powder, onion powder to give just your food more flavor. I personally, of course, like I said, I add my salsa, and there you go, a full filling meal. You have your veggies, you have your legumes, you have your, oh, and of course you can go ahead and, add some fresh produce, which would be like your salad, your romaine, your spinach, things like that. The very thing that I ate today too would be another example of an easy meal that you could make. I went ahead and warmed up some of my already cooked white rice, and then earlier this week, I had made a chickpea salad, and the chickpea salad just had chickpeas. It had tomatoes, it had cilantro, it had red onion, it had, what else did it have? Salt and pepper and lemon, and it was just delicious. I went ahead, put that on top of my rice, and I called it a day. That was it. And it was so good, so filling, and it was super easy to make as soon as I arrived back from work. Having these items already in your pantry just makes it so much easier for you. You're saving yourself maybe, some struggle when it comes to developing your grocery list for the week, because you already have all these items stocked up in your pantry. So all you have to do is go get the produce. And so you don't really have to overthink it. You just, go pick up your fresh veggies, and you go pick up your fresh fruit, and then you're able to already work with what you have stocked up. One of the biggest things that I want to make just evident in my channel is to show you that you do not have to overcomplicate a plant-based life. You do not have to overthink it, that it is very simple, it is inexpensive, it is easy, it's sustainable, and it's something that you can continue doing for the rest of your life. It's not supposed to be something that is just, hard and difficult to keep up this lifestyle. Is actually very easy. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I am so excited to bring more content to you guys and to be able to show you some of my favorite recipes using all of these staple items that I just mentioned. I look forward to showing you that you can make this lifestyle sustainable, simple, and that it doesn't have to be complicated. As I've said, just mentioned, please go ahead and subscribe to watch out for that, and hit the like button too, and comment down below some of the recipes that you would like to see. Thank you.